All right, so what we want to talk about today is we want to talk about how you can measure, how you can judge the results and the effectiveness of the campaigns that you're running. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into one of the campaigns that we're running right now and just kind of show you how we evaluate, how we determine what's working and what isn't working. So you can see here, I'm actually in the ads manager part of the Facebook ads account. I'm not using Power Editor. Now you can use Power Editor when you go in and you look for this information and you make these decisions. However, we find that it's a little bit easier to do this from within the Ads Manager. The way they display the data, the way they display the information is just a little easier and more simplified. So you can see here, I'm in my campaign, and this campaign is a campaign that's driving clicks to a website. And so just real quick over on the left-hand side, you will see that we've gotten 48 clicks, reached just under 4,000 people, and spent $27. Now, if you were to click this next tab over, you'll see that we can look at the audience. Now, this is where it's interesting. So you can see that the audience that we're currently reaching is between the ages of 18 and 24 primarily, and that we're reaching approximately 73% of them are male. So this information helps you understand, helps you get a better idea for who it is that's actually seeing your ad. And the interesting thing, as you mouse over this, as you put your mouse over each category, what you'll discover is that when we deliver this ad to women between the ages of 18 and 24, we are paying 39 cents per click. However, on the other side, you see down here that we are spending 46 cents when we're reaching men of that same age range. And so you can kind of mouse over and look at each one of those to kind of see where you're spending money and how much it's costing. So you can see down here in the bottom category, 65 plus, we're spending $1.19 per click to reach people that are over that age. So what does that tell us? That tells us that we may want to consider turning off our ads or setting the age limit so that it's 65 or less instead of 65 plus, so capping it at 64 years old. This age range also high here, 45 to 54, so that's something we want to watch and evaluate for sure going forward. And then the other thing up here, you can click on placement, and you can see where the ad is actually being delivered and seen. So newsfeed, you can see this would be the desktop newsfeed, less than 1% or 2% in total there. And then mobile newsfeed is where we're getting the vast majority of our traffic from, of the people that are taking action on our ad. So down here, we're going to scroll down just a little bit, and this is the ad set that I'm running. Right here's the ad set, and remember, the ad set is where you determine the audience, you determine the length of time that you're going to run your campaign, etc. So this is what we're looking at down here. And you can see we've driven 48 clicks to the website, again, reached almost 4,000 people. And on average, we're spending 58 cents per click. Over here, you can see our daily budget. You can see that we're running this starting September 23rd, and we're running it ongoing. So we don't have an end date set. Now, what you can do from this area, you can click right here on columns and performance, and you can actually get different information here and have that column up here, down here in what you're looking at. So in this case, let's say that I just wanted to see performance and clicks. I could click on that. It would add the column down there that would say performance and clicks. And over here, you can see that we've driven, let's see, right here, 79 clicks, and you put your mouse over it, tells you total number of clicks of your ad. This may include off-site clicks to your website, may include page likes, comments, shares, etc. So there's been 79 times that people have interacted or engaged with our ad set. And in our ad set, we are running, or were running, 4 different ads, and I'll show you those in a minute and how we evaluated those. You can see right here we have what is called CTR, or click-through rate. So what percentage of people that see our ad actually click through our ad or click and take an action on it? And right now we're at 1.92%, which isn't terrible when you think about that. So almost 2% of people who have our ad show up on their newsfeed are taking an action on it. CPC is cost per click. So we're averaging right now about 35 cents per click per engagement. Total number of impressions you see here. Cost per 1,000 impression. Now this is something that if you've used traditional media in the past, you're familiar with cost per 1,000. And that's what this figure is right here. So we're spending right now about $6.75 per 1,000 impressions. Over here, link clicks. So this is the number of clicks on the links appearing in your ad or page that direct people off of Facebook, right? And so that's what we're doing in this case. We're sending people to our website. So we've had 51 people click and go off of Facebook to the website where we're driving them. And we are spending, for that action, we're spending 54 cents per. And our click-through rate is 1.24%. So not terrible. So that gives you just an overview of kind of the whole ad set. Now, again, you could really dive into more specifics, delivery, engagement. So let's click on that just to show you. So under engagement, you can see clicks, there's no likes, there's no shares, there's no comments, there's 4 post likes, and then people taking action, we've had 49. Now, if you mouse over the little eye, it'll give you all the information there, so 49 people. And so again, depending on the ads you're running, you may want to take a look at several of these. Video engagement is a very important one as well. You can also go under customize columns, and this gives you really, really in-depth reporting, and we're not going to dive into that for now, but I mean, you can really narrow down and specifically monitor specific actions on your campaign. So I'm just going to scroll through that just so you can see here what are some of those things that you can see. You know, so websites, checkouts, purchases, etc. So there you have just a quick overview of what we would look at in the actual ad set. And again, if you want to really dive into all the details, you can. So here you could break it down by age, by gender, country, region, placement, etc., by the action they took, by the time they took the action. So it really gives you a very powerful set of metrics to make decisions off of. But the next thing I want to do is I want to take you into the actual ads that we're running under this ad set. So again, this is the ad set that we're running. And under this ad set, we were split testing 4 different ads. And so what you will see here, let me change this back to performance. What you will see here, here's our ads, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see 2 of these ads are now inactive. And so what happened was I began this campaign, and after about 12 hours, maybe a little bit longer, came back in and I said, okay, let me see what's generating clicks, what's generating the lowest cost per click, and which are not working as well. And so then what I did is I simply deactivated, and all you do to deactivate is you flip this little button over here. So I would just flip that over and that would deactivate that. In other words, it doesn't delete it, but it no longer shows that ad in the ad rotation. So it turns off that part of the campaign. So you can see what I did when I went into this was I just looked and saw, okay, well, this one only got 2 clicks and I was spending 94 cents per click. So I'm gonna turn that one off. This one hadn't generated any clicks, so I turned that one off. These 2 up here had generated a lot of clicks at a fairly decent rate. So I kept those on. I kept those 2 on. Now, the only difference between these ads down here, so let me click on this and show you. So here's this particular ad, and you can see the image, right here's what I want you to notice particularly. Notice the image. And then let me go back to the actual other ads real quick. Okay, so that was the image on that one. Let me show you this one. And again, this one's already inactive as well. So here's this one right here. The only change between those 2 is the image. Okay, so that was the only change between those two. And again, both of those are currently inactive, or we've inactivated those campaigns. So now let's look at the two that are performing the best. So preview this one. Just to give you an idea, the only difference now between this and the other two you just saw is this image. That is the only difference between those. So what that tells you is that images are extremely powerful. They have the ability to make or break a campaign. And so in another video, we'll walk you through how you can split test, how you can determine exactly which images are going to perform better. Now, which one is performing the best? This top one, right? So let's click on that and just take a look at what that one looks like. Now, this is what's called a carousel image, and this is where you upload multiple images, or you select multiple images, and those images appear down below the ad. Let's take a look at what that looks like. So this would be an example of that. So you can see same exact text down below. It's got 5 images that people can scroll through, even on a mobile device. Let's see, on the mobile, this is what it would look like on the mobile, and then people could scroll through those images. So you can see that everything else is the same. The only difference is that it has carousel images, meaning it's got 5 different images that we selected. And you can see that this one by far, let me go back, by far is outperforming the others. 42 clicks at 48 cents each versus 7 clicks at 77 cents each. So what I typically would do in this case is I would wait a little bit longer just to see if this ad that we've generated 7 clicks on starts to improve, starts to perform a little bit better. If not, I would simply deactivate that ad. And now I know I'm running the ad that will give me or deliver for me the highest ROI. Okay, so that's how I would deactivate it. It's that simple. Just click the button. Now, if I wanted to look more specifically at this ad, again, I could click on it here. Here's some basic information. But again, I could really customize and drive into performance and click specifically on this one. So this is just for this one ad, which is the carousel ad. So you can really dive into and determine which ads are working and which ads aren't. This is not important if you're only running spending a few dollars a month on campaigns or a few dollars a week on campaigns. But when you're going to be spending hundreds or thousands of dollars a month on your campaigns, you want to ensure that each and every ad is delivering and performing and giving you the highest possible ROI. And that's exactly what this enables you to do. So again, let me just recap where we're at. So here I am under the ad set. I'm under Ads Manager. This is the ad set that I wanted to look at. You can see that it's active. Up here again, the number of clicks, website clicks, down here, the results. And again, you can customize these columns. Go back to default. There you go. You can, if you wanted to break down and see, okay, let's look at country, for example. In this case, I'm only running in the United States of America, so they're all going to be in that one. Another one you could do would be placement. Placement and device is an interesting one. So let's take a look at that real quick just to show you how detailed you can get. So what I'm seeing here is that on the news feed on desktop computers, it's a desktop device, I've gotten 1 click, I've reached 24 people, and I've spent 14 cents. Newsfeed on mobile devices other, so what that may be, that could be some different smartphone. It could be possibly like a Windows smartphone, etc. I've generated 29 clicks, right? 29 clicks at 29 cents each. So that tells me something there that maybe I need to target people who are not on iPhones, not on iPads, not on Android devices or Android tablets. So that may tell me something. So you can see if I were to compare this, I were to look at this, iPhone, iPad is not performing very well, right? So what I could do based on that information is I could actually dive into my actual ad itself, or the ad set itself, and adjust the targeting so that I'm targeting people on Android devices and not on iPhone or iPad devices. Because it appears at this point that those are giving me the highest ROI. But again, there's so many ways that you can really dive into this and really help you make decisions based on the performance of your ads. Again, the beauty of Facebook advertising is that they give you all of this data, all of this information to help you get a higher ROI. Now, I realize that this can be a bit complex, a bit time consuming, and again, I don't want you to be overwhelmed by that. This is a much more advanced strategy. This is a much more engaged strategy, meaning it's going to take time. It's not just log in for 2 minutes and do this. It takes time to explore this data, to dig into this data. And you can, by the way, you can export this data. So you can export this out, put it in Excel, and if you want to create tables, formulas, whatever you want to do, you could do that. But here you can look and see who's actually given us the clicks and how much they're costing per click, male, female, etc. So this is just a quick video, again, on how to determine how your ad's performing, how it's working, is it working, what adjustments you may or may not need to make based on that. So I hope this information is helpful to you. Again, don't allow this information that I just presented here to prevent you from taking action, to prevent you from running campaigns, from trying things out, from testing. Again, you can use this once you get familiar with running campaigns and with the basics of maybe split testing, headlines, etc. So thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you have any questions, please leave a comment, and I hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon.